Stakes are high as short-term insurer Santam reports to shareholders it's suspending dividends. It deals with an ongoing legal battle over business insurance payouts. The company on Thursday announced it's sticking to its position that the COVID-19 pandemic is not covered under their business interruption insurance policies. We're joined by the Chief Financial Officer, Hennie Nel. Now, Hennie, good evening to you. You're in a huge legal fight here. It's led by the hotels chain Newzroom Afrika. They want you to pay out for their business disruption claims, to pay their claims that their business was disrupted by COVID-19. They've said that you've lost your moral compass.
Good afternoon, Stephen. Stephen, as you know, we've had the matter heard in the Western Cape High Court on Tuesday. For us, as Santam, we always our position always is we want to pay claims that's covered in our policies and that we pay that without hesitance. We've looked at the wording of the specific matter, and clearly there's a difference. So us as Santam have got an interpretation saying that we do cover it, but we cover it for a localized event, and the view from the policyholders are different. And Santam is not unique in that sense. I mean, the interpretation that we've got is consistent with what's done by all the other insurers in South Africa, as well as internationally, and our reinsurance panel. And for that reason, we actually welcome the fact that we could have gone to court, we could present our case, the applicant were able to present their case, and now the courts can consider the findings. It would provide some legal clarity on this matter, which I think is important.
Okay, but I mean, your argument is that the lockdown isn't because of the virus, and that the virus is covered, but the lockdown isn't. Do you really think you're going to win that?
Stephen, I think the point we're making is to say our policies is very clear, that our view, that it says it would cover an infectious disease that is a localized event. So if you're a restaurant and there's an infection, somebody with the infection in your restaurant, and you have to close the restaurant, you must clean up the restaurant and then you open again. For that, you will be covered. And those claims we settle. I mean, that's absolutely there. What we are saying is that if government announce a national lockdown and all businesses close, whether there is COVID in your area or not, that is not a localized event. And that's where there's a difference of view.
You're in a bit of a tough position here. If you lose this case, you have to pay out millions, I presume billions, in fact. If you win, I don't know anyone who would want to do business insurance with you after that.
Stephen, it is a difficult position, but I mean, what we have done, and exactly taking cognizance of just the position where many of our policyholders, the most affected policyholders are in hospitality, leisure, and your non-essential retail services. We've actually go to market and said we said that end of July we'll pay R1 billion of relief payments. And for Santam, R1 billion is a lot of money. We've paid that, and by yesterday, 950 of that R1 billion has been paid, which I think is from in terms of really providing support to people out there that now needs it most. I think was a very effective way of doing that. You're right. I mean, for us, it's a very significant matter. Through the relief payment, we've tried to at this stage, at least given the circumstances and where many businesses are, provide very specific and real support to those companies during the month of August.
I'm fairly certain the law reports are going to have case after case. It'll go all the way. You're also actually active in Lebanon, and you got hit by something that no one could really have predicted, these huge explosions there. That must have had an impact on you.
Just a massive explosion, Stephen, as you mentioned. We are exposed in terms of both. We've got a business out there through the Saham group that's got some exposure, as well as our own business provides some reinsurance protection in that area. It's still the early days, so we're busy considering the impact. We've got quite strong reinsurance in place also behind us on that. So it will have an impact, but we still, the process and the claims are still coming in, so we haven't quantified that number yet.
2020 is going to be the worst year on record for so many businesses. I imagine insurance, it's going to be possibly the worst on your record, and you're a very old company.
It is a challenging year, Stephen. You're quite right there. But that being said, we are a well-diversified business. So there's certain areas, in South Africa, the growth is really challenging. But we have been quite successful in terms of writing business outside South Africa. And we had growth in the 6 months of 27% in terms of premium flows from outside the country onto our licensee. And that's a good position to be in, because it's effectively writing a dollar business off a rand cost base. So we also need to find ways and look for opportunities. The same in South Africa. I think it is very difficult currently, and one needs to sort of look very well after the business you've got. And that's why in whatever we do, we really need to sort of make sure that our policyholders get a really good service, they get good value for the money that they pay for insurance, and we as a country needs to find ways to grow, because that's our own growth as Santam and as many corporates is very much dependent on the growth of South Africa.